Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, January 1st, 2025 by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I decide that this year is filled with health and wellness. I love that today we have the sun at 11 degrees, that master number that points us to healing. And Happy New Year. Happy Gregorian New Year. May this year be blessed. May all events be blessed. May all of us be blessed in this energy. And may we trust that it is all blessing us. So, here we go. 2025, a 9-year, moving into the year of the snake, not until Chinese New Year, because we get a lot of opportunities for the new year, which is cool. But a 9-year plus the snake energy definitely is going to bring along transformation. We have a lot going on this year. Trust, we have a lot going on this year. But we're just going to start with day one right here. It's always interesting to see what the Astro does when we have like big events, including, a year shift. And so right off the bat, we have the moon moving into Aquarius. So it's pushing that Aquarian agenda, calling us to recognize that we are one big community on Earth. Even if we are a tree with branches that are fighting currently, we are one big tree. We are one big community. And would be well off to remember that what we do to one another affects everyone, including ourselves. So Moon in Aquarius bringing us into unity energy. And then we have the Moon Pluto meeting. So here's what I love. When I saw this, when I looked at like the year ahead and I was like, how do we start the year? And I was like, oh, Moon Pluto, how fun is that? Facetiously. But it happens at 4:44 a.m. Pacific time, this Moon Pluto meeting. And 444 is a number that reminds us that the angels are watching over us. And so, again, can you be blessed by this energy? Even if this heralds the potential for intensity in this year, which I'll tell you, there'll be intensity this year right off the bat. The angels are here. They're with us. They're supporting us. And they are a supportive part of our community. So keep that in mind. Now, Moon Pluto is interesting because Pluto likes to show us where we are not empowered. Pluto likes to show us where we are called to rise up, which a lot of times makes us have to look at our dark side. And the overview card that I pulled from Inquire Within is Love Your Dark Side Too. So here we are. And the moon can reveal the hidden pieces, right? So Pluto's already like, I'm going to show you. But Moon's like, but I'm going to take off a few of these layers so you can really see. Watch for that. Now, the other interesting elements of this is that we have that building Mars-Pluto opposition. That's not going to be happening till Thursday night, but it's definitely feeding in. So we have the moon and Pluto on one side, Mars on the other, pulling on each other. Ugh. Actually, you know what's funny is the next transit we have is the moon opposite Mars. It happens at 5:53 a.m., but we might as well make it 5:55 a.m. What's time anyway, right? So 444, 555, the sun at 11. We are being lined up with mastery, but with mastery support. Anyway, the moon and Mars. Anytime the moon and Mars engage, it can heighten the emotional reaction. Now, Aquarius moon, you're like, doesn't it like kind of like push the emotions aside? A lot of times, yeah, but when Pluto and Mars get involved, even the coolest Aquarian cucumber is gonna feel a little bit of the fiery nature. So be aware of that in the background, in these energies, that the fires are flaring. Now, again, these fires can help inspire you towards making decisions, towards health and wellness. I love Capricorn energy being so efficient. Oh my. See? Mars and Pluto happening right there. That was Pluto himself speaking. What was I saying? Oh, the fires. Oh, the decision. That's where I was at. The decision of Capricorn is so efficient. And so, you know, we make these New Year intentions. But again, we all get to decide and co-create what the year is going to bring. Yes, the Astro has a lot for us. It's kicking off right off the bat. But how are you going to utilize this energy? Everything that's brought to us through the planets, through the energies, through what have you, we can decide what we're going to do with it. And we can use it and utilize it for our health and well-being, our healing path, to raise ourselves up in wellness. Or we can let it, you know, do the opposite. It's up to you. You get to make a decision, and you have that follow through. You have the responsibility. I always say that's one of the things about Capricorn. You get to decide how you are going to respond to the stimulus, so to speak. And so here's the Astro stimulus. It's a lot. You know, Mars in Leo is also winding down. It's moving towards Mars in Cancer. I would say people are really tired and wired today, especially if you happen to get the day off. Is a great day for a cat nap, to rest, to meditate, to envision, to work on your alignment, but to love yourself through your dark side. And let me just show you the top of these cards is the Thunderbolt. So there's a chance you might feel meltdowny. You know, it's so funny because I actually started this morning feeling very meltdowny. Just felt like everything come on my shoulders like all of a sudden, right? So I had my meltdown, and then I was like, all right, did the thing. Now it's time to realign. And then I had a really great day. So, you know, don't worry if you haven't had your meltdown yet. If you feel one coming on, there's chance for realignment, right? But sometimes we have to move these energies through. Now, before I show you the rest of the cards besides the Thunderbolt, I did pull one, but nope, it was this way. 1, 2, 3. With just a tiny little New Year's message for you. So, do you want 1, 2, or 3? Think about it. We're going to look at these other cards, and then we'll come back to this. So, Thunderbolt, top. And you know, the Thunderbolt is an act of God energy, and it's like this tower that you're building, this energy that you're building, this ego that you're leaning on to keep you safe. This isn't real. This doesn't have you. This can't support you. And it tumbles down. And so it's good to know. It's good to allow that to happen, because we don't want to be building in unsupported ways. So again, if you feel those Thunderbolt moments, can you bless it as an act of God? Can you bless it in your life, recognizing that it's ultimately keeping you safe? The rest of the cards, I mean, pretty good. I will mention the stress card. I'm feeling this in the way of like just so much is going on, feeling so many things, and that Mars retrograde is definitely like, come to the hibernation side. We have bears and cookies, and I want the bears and cookies, right? So this might be mental energy, take your monkey out for a walk, but it might be like, hey, put down what you're carrying. What can you put to the side right now so that you can focus on your own health and well-being, right? The rest of the cards are pretty good. We have the laziness card. The laziness card is the 9 of Cups, which is one of the best cards in the deck, I think. It's a card that's like, hey, your wishes and dreams are coming true. And this card reminds us, like, sometimes it's not through the act of doing, it is through the act of allowing that these things can come in for us. Yes, there's more work to be done, but sometimes part of the process is the allowing. We have the Creator card. So the King of Wands, recognizing your inner fire, recognizing that inner creation. And with some of these fiery energies, it might be helpful to keep that inner fire in mind and turn up your creativity. This also reminds me, today when I got up, I took a picture of the sky. I didn't post it. I usually post a picture of the sky if I'm, you know, up and around and taking pictures of it. But we really didn't have much sun popping through today, and I was like, but I carry the sun. Even when we can't see it out there, like, the sun is in me. Like, that sunshine, warm energy. And this card reminds me of that too. So keep that in mind, especially if you're somewhere dark and cold. Dark, cold, and with chaos muffins like we have running around. The final card is the Maturity card. Such a Capricorn card. Keep in mind, You get to decide. What are you deciding to bring into your well-rounded life? What colors are you bringing in, and how are these colors fulfilling your life? So let's look at 1, 2, and 3. If you chose 1 for 2025, seek inspiration in unusual places. And if you do so, I'd love to hear what you find. Number 2, see with eyes of love. See with eyes of love. Love is always available to us, and we can always put on that love lens. And I will mention that Venus is moving into Pisces later tomorrow and can definitely help with those heart, rose-colored glasses energies. And number 3, inhale, exhale. Sometimes that's what we need to focus on to help us move in and through the next steps. So I hope those are helpful for you. I thank you for joining me this year, and you can join me for a year ahead reading if you want to dig in a little deeper into this astro energy ahead. You can also join me on my Patreon group where I do month aheads and meetings with the moon, new moon and full moon Zooms. And besides all this, happy 2025. The better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and remember who you are, for you are the solution. Namaste.